So, let's continue talking about movies that I recently watched at Wayang at Budiman. On Friday, the 25th of October, we watched the movie Days and Nights in the Forest, directed by Satyajit Ray, a movie he made in 1970. This is for the Wayang at Budiman would call non-Bollywood movies, which basically means a facet of Indian cinema that is outside of the masala Bollywood ecosystem, right? So, to the uninitiated, the movie doesn't really have a plot. It just follows a group of friends who goes to a vacation together and things starts to happen with their relationship and their own character progression. So each one of them have their own arc, so to speak. Interestingly, at the time, according to the curator of the screenings, Dr. Norman Yusof, even back then, this kind of movie doesn't really fly with the general Indian audiences who are already accustomed to like the sing and dance, the hero always wins kind of story, and they were kind of like mad when the movie came out because of how nothing happens in the movie, when actually something always happens in the movie regardless of how you think it might be slow or something. So if you take away things that is not obvious to you, what's left is these characters, right? So yeah, follow the characters. This is a very character driven movie which doesn't have a plot in itself. So watching like all these like different styles of movies, festival movies you want to call it, right? And including even in the Bollywood itself, the kinds of movies like, for example, Death in the Gunge, which the pacing and style of this movie reminds me of, has prepared me to accept what kind of movie it is. And it's very interesting to see how the director managed to make something this evergreen. When I watch the movie, it feels like an indie filmmaker who decides to be quirky and shoot a black and white film. But no, this is from an established director, and I'm not familiar with this director's work per se, but at this point he's a very prolific director that is even, became the role model of the greats, like for example Martin Scorsese himself, and I can see why. Yeah, the movie is very well shot, and with the only thing that you have to latch on to the characters, it was written very well, how they progress their characteristics, their ideals, and how they see things progressing. It's kind of cool, and even has some tinge of horror and psychological thriller mixed in somehow to accentuate some of the tensions, and I think that makes it interesting. And from the type of movie that it is, I can give it an 8 out of 10.